Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Yoder. Welcome to Legal Studies 457, 557, Business Law for Accountants, here in the spring of 2024 at the UAB Collat School of Business. This is a brief video introducing you to the course, and since I'm the instructor, introducing you to me. Many business meetings have agendas to keep things on track, and that's what we're going to do today with this video. Here's our agenda. A little bit about my professional background, what CPA examiners at least think that you need to know about business law, the importance of communicating professionally in this course and in your careers, a little bit about the technology we'll be using over and above Canvas, the importance of keeping current, and a little bit about me personally as well. I went to Duke University where I majored in political science. I immediately went to law school at Northwestern University in Chicago. And then I immediately after that went to work for a large law firm in Pennsylvania, Reed Smith. I thought I was going to spend my entire career there, but that turned out not to be the case. And after about 12 years, I went to work for one of our banking clients in Pittsburgh. That was then known as Mellon Bank at the lower left-hand corner. You can see a photograph of the headquarters of that. Today, that corporation is known as BNY Mellon. BNY stands for Bank of New York because they merged with the Bank of New York a few years ago. I left that job after about 5.5 years and became the general counsel of a bank known as AmSouth Bank, which after I was there about 10 years merged with Regions Bank and took the Regions name. I briefly went to work for a law firm in Birmingham, but pretty quickly went into higher education at the UAB School of Business, today known as the Collat School of Business, where I taught law-related courses. And I did that full-time for about 5 years, but after about 5 years, I began to do an increasing amount of work for the Chief Academic Officer of UAB, known as the Provost. And after about 5 years of doing both, I switched over and pretty much only worked in the Provost's office, where my last job was to essentially be the Chief Human Resources Officer for the 2,500 faculty members at UAB. I retired at the end of 2022 from that job. A few photos in the lower right-hand corner of the retirement celebration at the statue of Vulcan that I have a connection with in Birmingham, Alabama. After retirement, like many people, I have done some volunteer work, including at the VITA program at United Way of Central Alabama. I also do work in that program, which helps low to moderate income people prepare their income tax returns at the VITA program at the Regions Institute for Financial Education at the Collat School of Business. I also, for the first time, volunteered and have taken part in the Business Research Toolkit, a non-credit course that's going on right now, as a matter of fact, at the Stern Library at UAB. Here's an overview of the course. This is a graphic from the textbook we'll be using. The CPA examiners think you really only need to know the top half of those boxes, so that's what we'll be focusing on. Professional communications, I don't worry too much in a Master's of Accounting course about that. Many of you are already out in your professional careers and you've learned how to communicate professionally. But if you want to laugh, look at the short video that's in the syllabus from a professor with probably young undergraduates about how not to communicate. I'm going to ask that all of you use a technology called VoiceThread to introduce yourselves using this as a prompt that you'll see embedded in the assignment in Canvas. VoiceThread requires that you register. Please download a photograph of yourself, just your face, so that we can somewhat simulate what it might be like if we were in a classroom looking at each other. So we'll be using Canvas. We'll be using as here a number of YouTube videos. And some of those videos I've also produced on a technology called Kaltura of me walking around the Regions Bank Operations Center talking about some uh, banking and other topics for this course. And finally, in the lower right-hand corner, we'll be using the MindTap technology of your textbook. I try to keep current in this course with things that have just happened or are happening even during the course. Every Monday morning, I'll be putting a preview of the coming week into announcements. So it's very important that you look at announcements every Monday. Importantly, there will be extra credit opportunities in those announcements. This is not one of those extra credit opportunities. It was in a prior semester when this was going on, but it's an example of how the law is changing right before our eyes. Outside of class, I enjoy gardening, swimming. We have two dogs. That Jack Russell Terrier has unfortunately gone over the Rainbow Bridge. His name was Opie, but we have rescued another one. Opie was a rescue as well. My wife and I, Louise, have been married for 47 years. We met each other in law school. We have three daughters who are married, and everybody lives in Birmingham. We have 8 grandchildren. Here they are in the summer of 2022. You've chosen a great career to go into, and I think you all are to be commended for making that choice. Here are the top 5 reasons some people have put together for becoming a CPA. Take a look at those. I think they're all very true, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm looking forward to meeting you as best I can electronically in this course.